Hi everyone, I'm Corbin and this is Plant Basics. Aloe Vera is really one of the easiest plants that you can grow, and in this video I'll take you through how to care, repot and propagate your aloe vera. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button to see more of my videos and to help me to grow my channel. Aloe vera is not only a great houseplant, but it also has amazing medicinal properties. You can take the leaves and cut it and apply it to burns or cuts. It is really one of the easiest plants that I've ever had. My plant just sits in my office space and chills there, and I've now moved it outside for summer to enjoy some of the brighter weather. My aloe grows upstairs in bright light with some morning sun. You want to keep your plant out of the hot afternoon sun, and especially through glass, because it does intensify the sunlight and it can scorch your leaves and make your plant look unattractive. Light stress shows up in aloes as a slightly red or orange tinge on the tips of your leaves. If you notice this on your plant, perhaps only move your plant into a more shady location and it should quickly green up again. If your aloe is receiving enough light, your plant's growth will be nice and compact, and the leaves will be a nice bright green. Not providing your aloe with enough light will result in leggy and stretched growth and will make your plant more susceptible to pests. I water my aloe about once every 2 weeks, or when I remember to do so. I usually see if my plant's leaves are either firm or more limp or water stressed. If they are firm, I'll usually hold off from watering them, but if they started to show signs of water stress, then I will water my plant. My plant is also in a terracotta pot, which helps to draw out moisture from this soil. If your plant is in a plastic pot, it will obviously retain a lot more of that moisture. That is something to consider when watering your plant, if it is a clay pot or terracotta pot. But then also, if you perhaps have your plant planted in a pot with no drainage holes, you might also have an issue with watering, and you might even have to water less frequently. Overwatering is probably one of the biggest reasons why aloes fail as houseplants. So when watering your aloe, always make sure that your plant is completely dry before you water your plant, and always make sure that your plant is not standing in water. If you have a tendency to overwater, you can always plant your plant into a clay pot, and also make sure to plant your plant into a pot with drainage holes, so any excess water can just simply flow away. So the ideal temperature for aloe vera would be between 13 to 25 degrees Celsius, so normal room temperature. They can probably go colder if your plant is dry, but the problem is if your plant is cold and wet, you could have issues with root rot. If you stay in the northern hemisphere and you vacation your plant outside, you want to make sure to protect your plant from any frost. So I potted my plant into a very sandy and well-draining mix. Aloe vera has adapted to growing in hot and arid climates. So if you want to have success with your aloe, it's best to try and recreate these conditions. Cacti and succulent mixes are ideal because they are sandy and they provide your plant with adequate drainage. Aloe vera likes to be slightly pot bound, so regular repotting is not needed. If you look at my plant over here, it is quite full in the pot, but I would say that this plant can still stay in this pot for another 2 years until all of these smaller plants has matured. When you repot your plant, it's always best to only go one size up, because you also don't want to overpot your aloe. I fertilize my aloe vera with a balanced houseplant fertilizer. Like many succulents, aloe vera is not very fussy when it comes to fertilizing. So I use a universal household fertilizer, which I get from the supermarket, but you can also use something similar. So propagating your aloe is extremely easy. All that you have to do is remove some of the pups and pot them up separately into a cacti and succulent mix, and I'm actually going to show you how to do this. So you take a fork or a spoon or something, and you just look around your plant to see where a small plant is. I'm going to look over here, take this plant off, there we go. So it has some roots attached to it. And I'll actually take off another one. Wait, on the side of the plant, these are bigger. Just loosen the roots. And then I'll just use my fingers. There we go. So you can see over there, I took off a little piece. So I'm going to plant both of these into this little small pot. So what we do, we fill our pot with some bowel draining cacti and succulent mix. And these small plants are great to grow your collection, but also to give away as gifts, especially now around the festive season. So just remove some of these stones. So now I'm going to use my finger, but you can also use a fork or a spoon or a small stick, and just simply press it down and pot in your little plant. And I'm the same with this one. I'm actually just going to break off this because this is not a root, that is actually, they call this a runner. So the main plant sends out these runners and small plants form on the end. It's similar to a spider plant. So I'm just going to break this off there and then place this small one also into the pot. And then I'm going to give this a small amount of water, only to help them settle in and to encourage the roots to grow into the media. But I mean, within a few weeks, these plants should be like growing happily in their new little pot. When watering your plant, always make sure to keep the crown free from any moisture. Similar to a Phalaenopsis orchid, any water that collects in the crown of the plant could lead to crown rot. If you get any water in the crown, you can simply dab it away with a piece of paper cloth. So I haven't noticed any pests on my aloe, but I have a suspicion that mealybug could be like culprit for this plant, because it does have, if you look at the growth of the plant, there's lots of space for mealybugs to kind of congregate and like multiply unseen. So it's like always a good idea just to check through your plant and to look and to see if you don't see any signs of pests. But like I said, I haven't noticed any pests on my plant. If you stay in a warmer, frost-free climate, aloes can also make amazing garden plants. I actually have a plant growing in the front of my house, which started out as a small plant like this and grew into quite a big specimen. If you plant your plant outside, always make sure to give it well draining sandy soil and to plant it in an exposed area with plenty of sunshine. So just a disclaimer about the medicinal properties of aloe vera. It is for external use only, so if you have a cut or a burn on your skin, it's fine to apply it. I know that there's a new craze for aloe vera water, but the water that you buy from the store hasn't gone through a specific purification process. So don't think of adding a few slices of the leaves to your drinking water or popping it in the blender, because you're not going to have a great time, because it is considered to be like a bit of a laxative. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and please leave any questions in the comments section. Leave any questions in the comment section below.
you.